Hello, my name is Maximilian Frank and I'm part of the Medical Product Competence and Research team here at Custo. Today I would like to give you a closer look at the ABPM module in the new Custo diagnostic client. If you open the client for the first time, you will already see all functions and options that are now available to you directly. That means you can select work list, perform an examination or look for a report right away. For the purpose of this video, let's assume you already have a recording of a patient and you just want to look at the report. So you go under search for report, you click the patient and you will be redirected to the overview page of the ABPM. The first window that you will see is the ABPM trend line in the middle. In this diagram, you will have your systolic and diastolic values for your brachial blood pressure. On the left-hand side, you now have the options to change a few things or apply some functions that were hidden before. If we look at blood pressure metrics, for example, you have the option to select the brachial or aortal blood pressure and the heart rate to be visualized in the trend line. You also have some graph options now. You can enable or disable the limit values, and you can have your measurements averaged out for each hour. You have additional actions that you can also now perform directly without clicking on options and searching for them first. So by selecting change limit values, you can now manually select limit values that you want, or you can have an automatic report directly created, or you can reanalyze if you change anything during the report. When you open the measuring tab, you will see all recorded measurements over 24 hours. You have some additional information like comments or timestamps, as well as the option to enable or disable which measurement you want to be considered for the analysis. You can also have a look at statistics, which allows you to look at the average values over 24 hours, as well as the standard deviation, which gives you an idea for the variability within the blood pressure. You can also have a look at all the error or the false measurements, which allows you to see how many there were and at what time. The next tab, risk stratification, shows exactly that. So on top you have again your 24-hour trend diagram with all your blood pressure measures over the last 24 hours. And here again you can have some options selected that will show either your heart trend or the limit values, or if you want your values to be averaged or not. On the bottom, you will then have the risk stratification table as long as you have risk factors for the patient selected. If you haven't done that, no problem, you can just click it on the left-hand side, risk factors, and a drop-down menu will open where you can then just select the corresponding risk factors for the patient. Once you do so, the table will display in which grade the patient falls and how likely it is to develop hypertension. If you're now interested to see which limit values are for each grade, you can just click the classification table on the left, which will show you directly all the limit values for the corresponding grade and which guideline we've based these off. You have the option between the German Hypertension League and the international one. Lastly, let's look at phenotypes. The hemodynamic phenotypes are displayed on the bottom. On the top, you again have your 24-hour trend line diagram where you can again show your heart rate or the limit values. On the bottom, you now have all the parameters that are important for the phenotype creation. The results of the analysis will be displayed in a small text box on the right, and underneath you have the interpretation and the definition of the specific hemodynamic phenotype for that patient. And with this, you've basically now seen everything in the blood pressure module in the new Custo diagnostic client. I hope this video can be of some guidance to you navigating better through the new client, and I would like to thank you for your attention and see you next time.